everybody. It's your old pal. Oh, I feel like it just bit the shit out of me. Ow. Sorry. It's your old pal, Mike the Naked Bigfoot. Just I just woke up about 20 minutes ago. So if I seem drowsy, it's because I am drowsy. I wonder. I've been offline for a few days now, and been very and had very little digital contact with the outside world. For those of you who were expressing concern or worry, thank you. Your kind words as well, thank you. Your thoughts and prayers, thank you. It's always appreciated. Um, I'm sorry I didn't respond. I'll be honest with you. I did not feel like responding. Not that I was being an asshole. It's because I didn't feel like engaging. Spent the last few days, quite honestly, I spent the last few days just sleeping all day, most of the night, feeling like dog squeeze. Um, not saying that I feel any less like dog squeeze tonight, but I figured I would try to make contact with the outside world. Hey, Papa Joey, good to see you, dude. Thanks for damn. I'm always surprised when people pick up on my live stream so quickly, especially the unannounced ones. Yeah, dude, I was just telling everybody that I haven't been online for a while, and I canceled the last few shows that I did, but had scheduled because I just did not have it in me, guys. I know I've got some wild lighting. Let me fix this lighting. That's happening. This psychedelic lighting that's going off right now. Um, Give it a minute. There we go. It'll be more stable now. It's not what I would call beauty lighting. Be one of those ring lights. Those would be a lot more. Those would probably be a lot more flattering, wouldn't they? That I haven't been on a while because I have not been. I just haven't been feeling good at all. I've been sleeping um, my days and most of my nights away. Would wake up at the weirdest times at night. Never would wake up during the day. Always woke up at night. That's weird, isn't it? Hey, Chris. Never quite understood why I would wake up at night. It was always after midnight, too. It was never before. Although today I did wake up kind of early. Like I said, about 20, 30 minutes ago, I just woke up, so I got the bleary eyes going on. I'll be honest with you guys, with everybody out there. I know I'm not going to be Debbie Downer. I promise not to be Debbie Downer. I'm not going to be that person. But I know I'm not. I know I'm not long. You know, I'll be. Let me put it this way. It's more. It'll get my point across. Without sounding. Without depressing the world who watches this. Um, I know that I'll be taking the eternal celestial dirt nap um, sooner than later. That did sound better than what I was going to say. I was about to say something very disturbing. Probably would have bothered a lot of people if I would have said it. Um, I think that's why I've been sleeping more and more lately. My body's becoming accustomed to sleeping. So when I do, oh, I'm gonna cry every time I talk about it. I'm brave, okay? I'm fucking brave, not afraid of death in the least. I just thought I'd have more time. But as everybody well knows, I wound my time down. You know, I just did. I did it. Fuck. This was supposed to have been a fun prize. It wasn't supposed to be a crying moment, but I've been. I'll just save this and move on. I had a good life. The things I've seen, things I've done, um, have been good. I have. If I get too weepy, I'm going to sign off just give everybody the heads up. Because I'm not that person. Um, I didn't come on here to seek attention. Uh, it's not my, it's not my way of doing it. Trust me. I don't know why I'm fucking emotional right now. It's so weird. I just don't get it. I'm okay. I really am okay with dying, with leaving this world. I really am okay. Well, there's one thing I'm not okay with. There was so much more I wanted to do. There's so many new mysteries and that have that are waiting for me to explore, and I won't get the chance to do them or see them. I know that sounds selfish, but gods, I really wanted to do some of the stuff I wanted to do. I wanted to explore the world again, but this time I'd have my wife at my side, and I would take her to all the places I'd been and show her all the wonders I had seen. And I've seen so much. And I've been able to share it with so few people. I've kept extensive journals. I try to put together a good book, um, which I won't see in circulation in this lifetime. Um, but it only scratches the surface of a beautiful life that I've led. There's so much I wanted to share, just not with my family, but with the world. I had finally gotten to my point in my life where I felt like I could share it all. Um, some switch was flipped in me that told me it was time to start talking. I will tell you the truth. The young man who signed on tonight, who goes by the handle of Papa Joey, under Papa Joey's Adventures, we discovered each other, him, Tim, everybody. We discovered each other quite by accident, um, with the truth about beer. And um, we found each other. And this is what started all. Um, we found each other quite by mistake. Um, quite by mistake. I don't know if it was a mistake. I think it was. I gotta blow my nose. Hold on. A lot of people don't know that story. Um, on Twitter, um, I don't know how Papa Joey and everybody and Tim and everybody found me on Twitter, but they found me, and they they followed me, and then I followed them back, and for some incredibly crazy, they must have bumped their head one too many times, um, because we started, talking on Twitter, and then they invited me to be on their show. Um, I didn't know a lot about this show, and on YouTube, but at the time we didn't do it wasn't video, it was call in. It was call in, and I called in, and they were asking me questions, about my Bigfoot encounters here on the farm. Um, it was a great interview, but it was done by phone. It wasn't done by I did not appear in a video format. Um, I loved their sense of humor. Um, they made me feel at ease, talking, having a conversation. Because it had been a long time before I had had a conversation about anything paranormal or supernatural or preternatural. I hadn't had any real discussions with anybody for over a decade, um, about stuff like that. And that's how it started. They hosted it went from there to talking about my religion, talking about my faith. I came on talking about the experiences I had after, witnessing one of their haunted dolls. I had so much fun making fun of that doll, although it's not something to be made fun of, that particular haunted doll they have. um, but it was just fun to do it because it elicited some amazing reactions. It was a lot of fun. But I realized that it was time for me to start talking again, start sharing. Uh, they host a virtual. They began. It's called Parapalooza. Oh, plus the guys at the Papa Joey and Tim and all of them. It was hilarious because, everybody knows I have a foul mouth and a weird sense of humor. So, and they know I have a foul mouth and a weird sense of humor, and so they enjoyed it. They enjoyed my stories. The people that came to the chats were enjoying my stories. Um, and they made me feel comfortable talking again. Um, bringing, opening the door to my dark little world again. I'm not saying dark as in bad, um, but I live in I exist in a world that is always, and being and walking in shadow is not a bad thing because you cannot have a shadow unless you have sunlight and darkness. And I, you know, took it upon myself to walk in those shadows, which is the gray edges of light and darkness, both spiritually and metaphysically. They're different things in my world. Don't ask for me to explain it any further than that. And I opened that door and I let everybody in. They actually inspired me to start doing my shows here. Um, my YouTube shows. They inspired me to do it. I had all kinds of names for it. But it evolved into what it is today, which is what the fuck paranormal chat. They used to call it a paranormal fireside chat or paranormal chat or something like that. But it evolved into what you see today. Um, and what everybody loves and hates is my show today. Yes, my breathing sucks ass before anybody points that out. I get winded easy, very, very easily. And I've gone from walking with a cane to walking with a. Does anybody know what a roller is? Um, it's like for those who don't know, it's like a fancy uh, walker, but with wheels and brakes and shit and a seat to sit on. I find myself more dependent upon that than a little bit nowadays. Um, so I get around with that now. And I'll have to take a picture because Gozer, the Siamese cat, she likes to jump on it and ride. As I'm walking with it, she'll get on it and ride wherever I go with it. So I think she knows too. She's a cat, of course. Most animals, they can sense when something is about to happen, like death is about to happen. And they become curious and they follow you more and they pay more attention to you because they don't want you to be alone when it does happen. Well, that's how I feel all animals are. Um, so I do want to apologize for canceling those two shows, upcoming shows. They would have been fun shows. But I do want to do a show this week. Yes, I want to do a show this week. Everybody has been enjoying the various and sundry objects I have in my. I call it the black curio cabinet, or the curio cabinet from hell. It's what I have everything stored away in and locked away in and sealed up from. So the various supernatural and paranormal energies about them don't affect, you know, the physical world around them. I keep them sealed away. It's nothing like the Warrens' museum they have in their fucking basement, trust me. It's nothing that extravagant. But it does have many wards that I've placed on it, and many items I put I marry with other items in there to help um, suppress their influence on the mortal world. Um, I collected them, sometimes by accident, sometimes by providence. The objects wanted to come home with me, so they came home with me. Um, Sometimes I let my curiosity get the best of me and I took the object without fully understanding the repercussions, ramifications. But luckily, whenever I need help when it comes to the paranormal world, I have people to ask. So when it came to sealing away objects and sealing away energies. I had plenty of people to draw upon. Being able, okay, one of the things about paranormal objects and supernatural objects and haunted objects that are imbued with energy, whether it be a, a spirit of some sort that's connected to it, or energy, whether it be negative or positive, connected to it, that it emanates or is attached to it, is that you have to understand what it is about that object that causes that. Is there something attached to it? Is there something about the object that emanates this energy or attracts energy to it? And that's to be able to contain it, um, or suppress it. Now I say contain with quotation marks because there's no way to fully seal away a lot of these energies. One of the best ways of doing it is ignoring them and not making physical contact with them, and giving them an opportunity to interact with you personally. Um, that's one way of containing it. Um, Suppressing it, on the other hand, because some objects are quote unquote, and I use this in quotations, are active all the time. Whether they have something attached to, I'm saying something with quotation marks attached to them, or they act as a conduit for something else as well. Um, so there's always some kind of bleeding of energy from these objects that you can't completely block off. And one of those, and I have lots of objects like that in my collection. One of them that I want to talk about later this week. So look for it. I'm gonna take the object out. I have not taken this object out for nearly 2 decades, for over 2 decades actually. Um, but it is a piece of a foundation of a manor that I had visited. It's you'll like this because it's in Georgia. It's in Georgia. You all know that I have spent a lot of time in Georgia. It's that place is a supernatural hotbed. Georgia is, believe it or not. Georgia has a lot going on with it. But I visited because I was curious about the story that was being told about it. And I'll go into more detail about it later this week. So I'll give you all just a taste of what I'm going to be talking about later this week. You always hear me say don't take anything from a place that, you know, a place of tragedy or a place of great grief or anger or rage. But back in those days, I didn't know any better. Well, I knew better, but I was arrogant and young, thinking that and they wouldn't. And I did this a lot. I mean, with every object that I collected, I had the same feeling behind it that it wouldn't bother me. I am strong. This stuff cannot hurt me. And so I took a piece of the foundation, and I'll tell you the name of the place. It's called. You're gonna love the name of it. You're gonna love it. I don't know why. I had the most vivid dream of this place, and that's the reason why I want to talk about it. And I had to go. I had to dig through a lot of journals. Well, I didn't dig through them. I had my son dig them out. I gave him an approximate date and year, but I told him the name of the place, which I'm about to tell you. Um, I told him the name of the place in question. And I remember nearly filling up an entire journal with notes about the place and the history of the place and the lore of the place. So he was able to eventually find my journal and pull it out. And I was able to look at it. But you're going to love the name of that. But I have had some of the most wicked dreams about this place lately. It's scary. bordering on nightmares. Um, the name, and I don't think a lot of people know about it. If you do know about it, please let me know. Um, Hopefully, you'll still tune in for when I do the show about it and enjoy the my experiences there. And people can still go there, which is weird. Uh, but the name of the place I visited is called, and I shit you not, you'll love this name. It's so good. The name of this place is Corpsewood Manor. Corpsewood Manor. Um, and the mountain that Corpsewood Manor is on um, has a very good name attached to it. Well, it's a nickname that was given to it. Um, oh, I know, Brianna. Brie, I knew you would love that, but it's called, and it really is called Corpsewood Manor. No shit, it's called Corpsewood. It's a real place. Um, so of course, it would have attracted a freak like me to it. I would go to Corpsewood, went to Corpsewood Manor. I don't want to give too much away about it yet. But the mountain that it sits on earned a nickname. This is a nickname, but um, it's called Satan. It's called shit you not again. It's called Satan Worship Mountain. It's called Satan Worship Mountain. Did you just Google it? Yeah, there's not, Chris. There's not much. When I went there, it was falling apart. But from what I understood over the decades, it is not a lot left of it except for the foundation stones and some walls to the place. Um, the Corpsewood Manor on Satan Worship Hill. It's a very, very tragic story that happened to two people there. Um, you'll love it. You'll love it. Murder. It has murder, intrigue, curses. Um, there's a curse attached to everything about that manor. The stones, the foundation stones, um, the objects that still can be found within it. Um, yeah, there's not a lot left of Corpsewood Manor. It attracts a lot of people. It attracted a lot of people back then too, out of curiosity. Um, People that were curious about what happened up there and the legend that was growing about the place. And I've been dreaming heavily of Corpsewood Manor, and it involved the story of the people that died at Corpsewood Manor, or I should say, were killed at Corpsewood Manor, because they were killed there. I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to give the whole story away yet. I want to be able to give you guys the story from beginning to end, but I've been dreaming of the people at Corpsewood Manor. They died horribly. Um, and again, this was just recent. I dreamt I was in the room when they were killed um, at one point. Then another dream I dreamt I was the guy who was doing the killing. And then at another point, the professor who was killed there, I dreamt that I was him. Um, and when I would wake up, I thought I kept hearing screaming happening there. That was screaming all around me. And of course, I wandered down uh, to the evil curio cabinet, and nestled in the very back of that cabinet was the object that I took from there. Um, and I seriously believe that object was reacting to my emotional state and connected to me from the cabinet. Some of the energy bled over out of the cabinet and made a connection with me and made me have those wicked nightmares that I had. But as you all well know, that's a story for another day. So look for it. It's going to be The Curse of Corpsewood Manor. That's going to be the title of it. So definitely look for it real soon. I'm going to try to knock it out this week. And I'm going to be able to show you the object that I took. Um, Stephanie, I'm going to show you all the object that I took out of there. No, I know, I broke. And you know what? I didn't come up with the rules of don't take shit from places like this until much later. When I realized I literally had a Sterilite container full of shit that I'd collected over the decades that were quote unquote haunted or spiritually active. I used to carry them around in Sterilite totes, all jumbled together with each other in these Sterilite totes. And I had probably, I should probably, and I didn't know how wrong it was of what I was doing. I had a suspicion of it. Um, and I used to take these things everywhere. When I'd go stay with friends when I was on the road, or staying at a hotel, or staying with friends, or staying with kind strangers, I would take the Sterilite totes in with me into their homes, and weird shit would happen. When I was staying with them, especially my friends, when they realized what was inside of some of those Sterilite totes. They told me I couldn't either. They had to stay outside or I had to stay outside. So I would have to put the Sterilite tote outside somewhere that was full of the shit. Um, and then when I finally did settle down, before that though, I was making various bags and stuff, and was wrapping them up um, and putting various glyphs and wards on the Sterilite totes that would help contain what was inside of the Sterilite totes, that it could not actively hurt anybody or cause anything to happen, um, because they did. So I got better at doing it. The more I did wrong, the more I learned, until I am where I am today, to where I have, again, this big ass cabinet full of objects. Um, how many people have seen the old 1980s television series Friday the 13th, a series? It was a series called Friday the 13th, a series. And it was about the man there, his name was Louis Vendredi, and he had made a deal with the devil, that he would live forever, that if he would, as long as he sold cursed objects that the devil cursed, he would sell cursed antiques to people, and the people would always end up dead that got them, and horrible things would happen to them and the people around them, the cursed objects. He reneged on it and tried to keep all the objects locked away, try to gather all the objects back up and lock them away. So he broke the deal he made with the devil. The devil came down and collected his soul, killed him and collected his soul. Uh, Long story short, he had relatives that came there after he died. Unbeknownst to them, he had a whole vault full of cursed objects, and they inherited a whole vault for an antique store. But then they had a whole vault of cursed objects that they made a mistake and sold, because not knowing what it was, because they just wanted to sell everything and move on with it. But then they found out that all these objects were cursed, and they were wreaking havoc and killing people. So that was the premise of the series, where they had to go out and locate these objects again. Um, and locate the objects that Uncle Lewis had already sold, and bring them back and seal them away in a vault where they could do no more damage to the world. Um, that's where I originally got inspired with doing that cabinet. That is my Friday the 13th series cabinet, where I keep not everything in that cabinet's dangerous. Um, some of it is very, very sad. it has very sad attachments to it, very tragic attachments to it. Um, so having it exposed for long periods of time can affect you spiritually and emotionally. Also, some of the entities that are attached to some of these less volatile objects, um, they can keep you awake at night unless you keep them sealed away. So that's the reason why they're sealed away. But that's what everybody can look forward to is the Curse of Corpsewood Manor, which I'll be talking about. So I hope everybody's looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. That episode is gonna be a lot of fun. It's probably gonna run more than an hour, just to let everybody know the Curse of Corpsewood Manor. Because some wild shit happened when I was there, and then when I left, I brought it with me, literally and figuratively, brought it with me. So, but I'm just gonna give you all a teaser. I'm not gonna tell you everything about it until you watch the episode. Um, I'm not gonna be a big crybaby when I do that episode either. I'll try to stay as fun and straight laced as I always have been. But like I said, that object is I think is it's telling me that it's time to tell its story. I'm nodding off. I'm sorry. I'm literally going to sleep as I look at you. As I talk to you right now, I'm losing energy as I'm talking to you. And wanting to go to sleep right now. I don't want to go to sleep with this on me, with the camera on me right now. That'd be kind of weird if that happened. Yeah, but it's hard for me to keep my eyes open right now. Really, really hard. Ooh. So with that said, thanks for watching. Know that I'm still in this world for now. You can expect one more episode, at least one more episode of What the Fuck Paranormal Chat with the Naked Bigfoot. I, of course, am your humble host, Mike the Naked Bigfoot. Have a great night. And in the words of Elvira, unpleasant dreams.